Traffic to your website will create unpredictable demands on your infrastructure, making the cloud attractive. On the other hand, compliance makes controlling key data on premises paramount. With the hybrid platform, you can have the best of both worlds. At Microsoft, we learned from the massive scale deployments of Bing, often more responsive to the needs of the business, to increase speed and agility in the infrastructure and make businesses more competitive. The Microsoft Hybrid Cloud gives you dynamic application delivery, so that you can get applications to your users faster, automate manual processes, and gain deep insight into how well they're working. The hybrid cloud lets you benefit from all the cloud has to offer while leveraging the resources you have now. No matter where your IT department is now, we have the tools and resources to help transform your data center and make hybrid cloud computing work for you.
Muito obrigada por estarem aqui conosco. É uma grande honra ter vocês aqui. Eu só queria recapitular algumas coisas que têm acontecido nos últimos dias para nós aqui da Microsoft. Como alguns de vocês sabem, nós tivemos desde quinta-feira passada, acho que o maior evento que a gente já fez em conjunto no Brasil. Nós tivemos o início do Microsoft Insights Event. Foi a primeira vez que a gente decidiu trazer em um único evento várias audiências, discutindo a visão da Microsoft, trazendo uma visão de inovação, com várias palestras técnicas. Eu queria dividir alguns números para vocês, essa semana que se encerra hoje. Então nós tivemos 5.000 pessoas conectadas ao longo do evento com a gente o tempo inteiro online. Nós tivemos 2.600 pessoas conosco presencialmente na quinta e nas sextas-feiras passadas. Nós tivemos mais de 100 apresentadores e a gente teve várias sessões de hackathons ao longo do fim de semana. Então foram dias intensos de atividade que a gente está trazendo para vocês e todo o nosso ecossistema, parceiros, desenvolvedores, clientes, enfim, todos os profissionais e convidados que estão aqui que trabalham na nossa plataforma. Eu acho que eu cheguei a anunciar no Microsoft Insights, na abertura, que a gente teria um encerramento desse evento bastante especial. É a primeira vez que a gente tem o nosso CEO, Satya Nadella, como CEO visitando o Brasil. Então, a ideia é que a gente traga realmente um grande finale para o nosso evento. A Satya vai falar um pouco com a gente sobre essa nova Microsoft, sobre o que vem pela frente e também sobre o que ele tem aprendido nessas algumas horas muito intensas. A agenda tem sido muito intensa aí nesse dia, mas é com grande prazer que eu anuncio, tenho a honra de trazer para conversar com a gente aqui agora, Satya Nadella, nosso CEO.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for coming here. It's a real pleasure and a privilege of mine to have a chance to speak this afternoon to you as part of the Insights event. I thought this afternoon I'll spend some time talking about our mission and our ambition, and more in particular how that can translate into success of customers and the economy of Brazil. That's what really I wanted to share some thoughts on. The mission of Microsoft, which is central to everything that we do, is about empowering every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. To us, this is at the core. This is the soul of the company. This is the identity of the company. This is what is reflected in all that we do. And there are many, many key elements to it. For example, Microsoft is the only organization that obsesses about the connection between individuals, their ingenuity, their productivity, their creativity, and the organizational productivity. We always think about how do we bridge the two. Be it a small business, be it a startup or a large business, we think that digital technology can be empowering to every person but it can be amplified by bringing people together in the context of organizations. That's one of the key attributes of everything that we do. Second, we think about the world. And in this context, we deeply care about having impact with our platforms, our solutions, with our partners in Brazil. To us, being not just having products in the country, but having those products translate into success of our customers, not only in that country, but even the global ambition of Brazilian companies, is very, very important. And that's something, again, central to how we think about our own efforts. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, I say this all the time, even in our internal meetings, I don't want to celebrate the launch of any product of ours. I don't want to talk about what we do. I want us as a company to stand for our customer success. Because if I think about the identity of Microsoft, it is centered around providing digital technology to others who are going to do magical things. I always say that we are really about building technologies for people who do things, make things, and make things happen. That to me is at the center of what Microsoft's mission is. Of course, this mission is today realized in what I describe as a mobile-first, cloud-first world, through these very interconnected ambitions. Now, when I say mobile-first, cloud-first, it's perhaps important because I'll keep coming back to this. The mobile-first to me is not about the mobility of any single device. It is the mobility of the human experience across all the computing that is going to be part of our lives. If there is one thing that is going to be true 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is that there is going to be more computing. There's going to be sensors in the rooms that we are living in or working in that are going to be capable of running general purpose compute. We're going to have things that we wear in our wrists, things that we wear in our eyes, things we put in our ears, things that we put in our pockets, large screens, small screens. So one thing is going to be true, we're going to have many devices, many screens, and lots of computing. But the real purpose of all that ubiquity is so that it can enable your mobility. It is about the human experience as opposed to the device's mobility. And that is only possible because of the cloud. The cloud enables you to be untethered from one device and have you move between devices. And so that's why I think of this mobile first, cloud first as the paradigm for which we are building our solutions, we are building our platforms. And to do that, we have three interlocking ambitions. The first one is about reinvention of productivity and business process. There are a variety of ways you can think about this. You can think about it in the narrow sense of some tools that we build and we use on a daily basis to get work done. I believe fundamentally the question of our times, especially given what is happening world over today with the economies, where we're challenged, the economic growth of the world is challenged. I think one of the most important things that needs to happen to get the world back to growth is essentially a creation of a new factor of production. I believe information technology is that. And in order for that to come true, we need to think about productivity of people and organizations and economies. And that's what we really mean by reinvention of productivity. In fact, in all the abundance we have of computing, what is scarce resource that we need to be smart at allocating is time. So our goal is to create the services and the tools that allow every individual to get more out of every moment of their life, but also for organizations to get more out of everyone inside of the organization. And the way we do that is by not just building individual tools, but having all our tools available to all people on any device. living up to that mission, living up to that worldview of mobility of experience. That's one of the fundamental reasons why a service like Office 365 or our enterprise mobility suite, which is critical to how one manages the security, data protection, identity across all devices, are now available on iOS, Android, or Windows. We think about all those compute endpoints as first class when it comes to Office 365, our enterprise mobility suite, and that's very core. Second, when you think about the nature of work, fundamentally nature of work is changing from personal tools to group conversations. A lot of innovation that is part of Office 2016, which is a new launch of Office, along with Office 365, the service that goes with it, is about pivoting, changing how we work. Where in a conversation that we are having, we are able to handle business process exceptions. It can be a customer escalation. It can be a customer opportunity. It can be a response to an RFP. Any of those, along with finding the right experts, not because of some organizational structure, but the right people who need to come together. In fact, even inside of Microsoft, just today I was meeting teams that are coming together to respond to customer opportunities that are not defined by any functional organizational structure we have. That is going to be true for every one of your organizations. You need to bring people across functions, across departments to really solve customer solutions. So we are building the underlying things from Outlook to Skype to things like groups that underlie all of these tools so that you can completely adapt these tools to the way you want to work naturally. The last thing, perhaps most importantly, is how we are building into the service intelligence, especially org analytics. One of the things that I'm most excited about is a class of new products which are around information discovery and knowledge called Delve, which is part of Office 365, which is exciting to me not because it's another new product. It is exciting to me because of the cultural transformation of an organization that uses these products. For example, for me personally, I use Delve to visualize the work that is happening inside of Microsoft so that I know I'm not waiting for people to send me reports or mails, but I'm looking at the work that is happening inside the company. Who is building some spreadsheet, or who is writing a document? What conversations are people having in Yammer? The ability to discover work as it happens versus waiting to be a recipient of artifacts of work as a leader of an organization completely flattens the organization, culturally makes information very transparent. And I believe that, to me, is very, very important as we try to empower our organizations to be more agile, more responsive. One of the other things that we're also doing as part of this product is giving you data back, analytics back, on how you're spending your time. As I referenced earlier, if we believe time is our most scarce commodity, we know that, but how can we know that when we need it most? In other words, I want to know how much time am I spending with customers, how much time am I spending in internal meetings, who are the customers that I should perhaps most importantly touch base with in the next week. You can in fact reason about all of the information about you and your organization and infer those insights. Offering those insights back to you on a daily basis using org analytics is what's going to make transformative change to how I spend my time, how I schedule meetings, whom I schedule meetings with. That to me is fundamental to how we reinvent productivity. And it's very exciting to see how these products are having real impact in real businesses. In Brazil, in fact, DOTS is a company that is using the combination of our Dynamics product as well as Office 365 to transform themselves in terms of how they work, and more importantly, even the product and service that they create. So I thought that I'll introduce the CEO of DOTS, Roberto, to come up on stage. Thank you so much. I thought no better person than you to talk about how some of this technology is making a change. So maybe you can start by sharing a little bit of your mission for your business.
Good to see you. Good to be here. And it's funny because I remember when I started DOTS some time ago, actually 15 years ago, I had been inspired that time when I had read Bill Gates saying that one of his dreams was to have a PC in every desktop, right? And that was really in my mind. And one of the dreams of DOTS is to have the DOTS currency in every wallet, in every consumer in Brazil. And we have a long way to be there, yeah. We have 16 million consumers. Probably going to be around 20 million in 1 or 2 years. We are already the largest coalition program in Brazil. And really changing, I think, the way loyalty is being done in Brazil. More democratic, more spread all over different consumers. And we do believe that we are really helping people and helping companies to become better. We think consumers, whenever they shop and they get DOTS as a currency, they are really getting and having a better life. And we are really helping our companies, our sponsors, in really making more money, being more profitable, and selling more through a loyalty company.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's a loyalty program
Yes.
that your customers are able to take advantage of. I know you have a goal going from 16 million to doubling it by 2017.
Well, to doubling by 2017, and as I said, we really want to have every consumer with DOTS in its wallet. So that's our goal.
How is technology helping you build out this service and reach your ambition? And Dynamics, I think, is one of the core elements of it. So any thoughts you wanted to share on that?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, as an entrepreneur, we have lots of ideas, right? And thanks to technology, now everything can be done. At least that's what I think, and we believe. So Microsoft is really helping us a lot into that, because going from 1 million consumers that we had like 5 years ago to 16 million now wouldn't be possible without tools that will enable us in really being able to contact, to have different channels of communication. Today, consumers are all in different channels. We never know which channel the consumer is going to be talking to us.
That omni-channel is a very
Exactly. So
important
it's
point.
very important to be flexible. We have more than 150 suppliers that are integrated in our platform. We have more than 250 sponsors. They are all integrated into our technology. The Microsoft technology is really supporting us, making it a scalable business and very flexible to be integrated into our business.
Fantastic. And any thoughts on, of course, we talked a lot about what you're doing for your customers, how technology is helping you build that service. Internally even, inside of DOTS, you're using Office 365. And culturally and productivity-wise, what are you seeing?
Well, we decided to have our business very regional. The retail market in Brazil is very regional. So we have today around 500 employees, but only 200 is in our head office in São Paulo. The rest is spread in different regions. And we decided to be very close to the market, to our customers, to our sponsors. And we couldn't do that without the technology that would enable us to not miss any type of communication, any type of information. So we are using the technology to really enable us to be close, to be able to be spread and not lose any type of information from our customers and our employees as well.
Fantastic.
So for different uses and different technologies, and that helps us in doing that.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. It's such a pleasure. example of what we want to achieve with our technology. We want to help a business like Dots first create their product using digital technology. I fundamentally believe every company is going to be a software company. And so you need to give them software platforms that allow them to create their own products, which are powered by digital technology. And then every company needs to use a productivity and a collaboration service to bring the organization that produces excellence in their organization to really flourish. And that's what Office 365 does. And so it is a great example on both of those angles. So I want to go to the next ambition of ours, which is around building out this intelligent cloud. It's kind of an interesting thing, which is why did we call it intelligent cloud? We could have just called it cloud infrastructure or cloud platform. There are two very key things that are transformative in this generation. I grew up, in fact, mostly in the 90s and the early parts of 2000s, building our server infrastructure. But now we run over 1 million machines as cloud infrastructure across 19 data center regions, and one of those regions happens to be in Brazil. And when I look at what cloud computing is going to do, the scale that it's going to provide. In fact, it's not just the scale of our public cloud and Azure, but we truly think of even our servers as the edge of our cloud. I don't think of it as a legacy business. If you take our database, it does high availability and disaster recovery by connecting back to our server. We think of our servers and our cloud enabling this hyperscale cloud plus hybrid computing. And I think that the power of those two is very unique and very needed. In a country like Brazil, there is going to be regulation, there is going to be digital sovereignty needs and security needs that requires that practical understanding for a variety of applications. And so therefore we are building that out with true hyperscale economics on one side and the flexibility of hybrid computing on the other side. But perhaps the most transformative thing is data. 5 years from now, when we look back at the applications that get built, be it Dots or others, the key attribute that we're going to claim is unique for this generation of apps is intelligence. We are able to now reason over, in real time, over petabytes of data, right? The data exhaust that is coming from sensors. People like to talk about Internet of Things. The real value of the Internet of Things is converting the data that comes from the things into a predictive service that makes it possible for you to have gross margin more because of the service versus the thing. That is the transformation in the business. And so to me, having intelligence inside of your applications is the new currency. And in order to do that, you need to have the tooling and the platform. That's what we are focused on with Azure. In fact, today is a very exciting day where we announced the coming of the public previews of something called Data Lake, which is an amazing piece of technology which allows you to collect petabytes of data so that you can reason over all of it and convert it into these advanced analytics features. Because the questions all of us have is what happened, why did it happen, what will happen next, and what can I do? And in order to be able to answer those core questions, you need rich visualization and tools for being able to ask open-ended questions. That is something that we're enabling with things like Power BI. Very powerful. For me, I use it every day inside of Microsoft to go and look at all the leading indicators of success. Second, we are using services like Azure Machine Learning, which is statistical machine learning, to be able to add intelligence, add advanced analytics, and automate things that need to get done. So those are the two things that we are very, very focused on. And really delivering intelligent cloud. So to give you a flavor for this, I wanted to invite up on stage another partner of ours, Lynx, who's been a partner of Microsoft's for a long time in the retail industry. So I wanted to invite up Mauricio. to come up on stage. Hopefully such a pleasure having you.
Okay, now okay. Well, first of all, thank you to be here. We're glad to be invited for your first time in Brazil.
No, thank you for that. I thought one of the things that would be great is to talk a little bit about your company as well as the retail industry. A lot is changing.
Well, the retail industry is changing a lot around the world, and in Brazil it's not the difference. We said normally that retail we're going to change more the next 5 or 10 years than in the last 200 or 500 years, because the way that you buy is changing a lot. Okay, this is our challenge in links, and we are here to talk to you about that. Links is a company with 150 more or less thousand POS. Okay? It is 2,500 employees we have. Okay, we are with 12 brands around Brazil. To have in mind, we have 33% of all the retail software solutions for Brazil. It's a major challenge. I think that Brazil is tough right now, okay? Not only because the politics and the economy, but Brazil normally creates a lot of new laws and new things. Now, believe it or not, we have the challenge of each person that goes inside the store and buys something. This needs to be connected to the government and to our cloud. This is a good example for your...
That's interesting. So maybe you can talk about, because I know that, of course, you built these point-of-sale solutions and retail solutions over the years, but the cloud is transformative. I mean, the journey to the cloud has both been disruptive and transformative. Maybe you want to talk about that journey?
For sure. We start in the cloud with e-commerce, that is regular and normal. The omni-channel we are talking about is not the e-commerce only. We are talking about search and recommendations inside the store, for example, that's brand new. We have the ability to move old and legacy products that was on-premise to the cloud. And Microsoft was very important for us in this concept, because we have, well, I have been in a lot of WPCs, and I think Microsoft helped us not only for the new world, but to the legacy. That's right. Important for us too.
And how are you differentiating? How are you using technology and the cloud perhaps? Because I talked a little bit about intelligence and how that could be the differentiation. You talked about the government rule, which I think is a great use case of the cloud even.
We need to understand that the consumer are power at this time. The consumer knows everything. And like you in Microsoft, the major, we are a B2B company. I need to give power for my clients to receive the consumer inside the store and give to the regular salesman inside Manaus or inside the south of Brazil tools to give recommendations, for example, to know about how many points they have in programs like dots and things like that. And this is only possible through the cloud, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you, and congratulations for your work.
Retail and e-commerce, I think, are conceptually easy for us to understand how they're being transformed because of the consumer habits being transformed, because they're at the vanguard of it. But every industry, be it insurance, be it healthcare, be it education, are all being transformed by data and the ability to convert data into intelligence. And that's really what I think is the opportunity for this generation of applications and application developers, but more importantly, businesses that are in these industries to use these applications to transform their business processes. The last ambition I want to talk about is more personal computing. People talk about what is next in personal computing. To me, that's one of the foundational reasons why we are conceptualizing and building Windows 10, not as just another release of Windows, but as a new generation of Windows. that is built as a service, that works from Raspberry Pi to HoloLens, delivers on the notion of mobility of experience across all devices, has a uniform developer platform, so any application developer writing for Windows can in fact sell their applications on the HoloLens, on Xbox, on the PC, on the tablet, or on the phone. We're also innovating and changing the form and function of computers. When we think about, we don't just think about tablets and laptops. We think about tablets that can replace your laptops. Our phones are going to have a very unique capability through a feature called Continuum, where, especially in a market like Brazil, where a small business or a consumer buys our phone, that phone will not only be a smartphone, but can even be a PC-like experience because of Continuum. HoloLens, of course, is a completely new computer where the input mechanism is gaze and the output is a hologram. And talking about what is next, I couldn't be more excited about holographic computing. In fact, the story of holographic computing is connected to Brazil. The key leaders and visionaries who was behind both Xbox Kinect as well as HoloLens is a gentleman by the name of Alex Kipman. He's from Brazil. I think he grew up 100 or 150 miles south of Sao Paulo. His father was in the diplomatic service, and so very early on he wrote, so he moved around the world. But the one constant for him was love of computer science. And that finally brought him to Microsoft, and he's been doing very innovative things for us over the years. And this is his baby. This is his labor of love in terms of really inventing this new form of computing that is going to change what we think of computers. Because if you look at it, in our history, we've always thought of doing in a digital world what is already available in the physical world. We've created these metaphors that are mirror worlds, right? Desktop is a good example. The desktop existed physically. We said, what is a digital metaphor that can actually help people grapple with information? But the world that we are entering now is this world of mixed reality. In a world which is analog, we can superimpose in this analog world digital artifacts. That's why we call it mixed reality. What mixed reality can do in education, what it can do in healthcare, what it can do in industrial design or architecture, right? Imagine you're an architect, you're designing something in 2D, and you see the 3D output right there as a hologram. You're building a car, you're an industrial designer, you see the output right there. That is transformative. And gaming, Minecraft, we're very excited about Minecraft and what mixed reality as a new genre of gaming can be. And so I thought to give you a taste for what building a new computer looks like and a new computing paradigm looks like, because our industry is punctuated by these moments of category creation. I wanted to roll out a video.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to
put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation.
Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.
I really love that expression of when you change the way you see the world, you change the world you see. I think captures what is possible with new innovations and new inventions like the HoloLens. So I wanted to close out by going back to our mission. At the core of our company is this sense of identity that digital technology exists to empower people and organizations throughout the world, in Brazil, to be able to drive their dreams, achieve their greatness, and really change the world. That's what we want to celebrate. That is what Microsoft's core identity and mission is. And I thank you for all of your partnership, and I look forward to celebrating what you do with the products that we create. Thank you so very, very much.
The real question that needs to be asked as well as answered is, what is it that we can do that is unique, that is impactful?
It began with the question and a desire to make a difference. What we do impacts each and every one of us.
Technology has the power to unite us.
That is something to be celebrated.
When I lost my eyesight, I thought that my painting days were over.
But the vision has evolved, and our mission is clear. We are going to empower every individual and every organization to do more.
I built a computer and I opened a fridge with a Lego.
To achieve more.
We can study black rhinos without disturbing their natural environment, so we can help keep them safe.
Technology has changed Rilon's life by opening up the world for him.
It is a process of continuous renewal.
evento aqui. Meu nome é André Echeverria, eu sou gerente geral do Brasil, da unidade de negócio de infraestrutura e nuvem da Microsoft. Como vocês viram, estamos construindo a nuvem inteligente, com vocês e para vocês, para tornar todas as organizações privadas e governamentais do Brasil mais eficientes e mais economicamente empowered para entregar a sua missão. Nessa etapa final do nosso evento, nós vamos conhecer melhor os casos da DOTS e da Lynx. Gostaria de começar então chamando o Fábio Tavares, o diretor de tecnologia da DOTS, para compartilhar conosco os detalhes sobre o qual o Roberto e o Satya conversaram.
Estão me ouvindo, pessoal?
Sim.
Ótimo, então boa tarde a todos aí.
Boa tarde.
É um prazer estar aqui com vocês, espero que seja um prazer também para vocês estar aqui comigo, tá? Estou aqui para falar um pouco do caso da DOTS, tá? Então, a ideia aqui de estar com vocês é estar falando um pouco sobre como a DOTS, ela como programa de fidelidade, consegue cada vez mais trazer para os nossos clientes a felicidade, ou seja, como a gente consegue trazer clientes cada vez mais e mais e como a gente consegue trazer lucratividade para os nossos parceiros. A primeira pergunta é, quem aqui tem DOTS? Viu? Falta bastante gente, tem 16 milhões, mas o sonho de ter todos aqui ainda falta um pouco, tá? Na realidade, a DOTS, ela está colocada aqui como um fenômeno, tá? Um programa de fidelidade por coalizão. Então vocês devem estar pensando, pô, mais um programa de fidelidade, copiar a múltiplos. Não. A gente está aqui desde o ano 2000, está na estrada. Se alguém